Welcome to the Smark Foundation Podcast. I'm Aaron. This is Adam.
Oh, hi, Marks.
And we are here to talk about the best and worst of AEW for the week. And starting off with some news, we will talk about this all throughout the show. We had a couple really big returns this week on AEW, but we did have a third return where the person didn't physically return.
Yeah,
And I think this was handled badly.
an anticipated return that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, so Mercedes Moné was in Winnipeg the day before Dynamite, dropped whatever last two, technically three belts, if you want to consider the Owen Hart Cup title belt that she still has. I mean, it's not like she defends that one or anything. She's not gonna win it this year, probably. So but she dropped her second to last real belt, and then we just kind of, I think, as a fandom, assumed, oh, she's gonna be there. She's gonna come back on this show because she's already there physically in town.
Right.
And then it never happens.
Yeah.
I honestly half expected her to be the one to answer Willow's TBS title challenge.
I thought it might be her also, based on just her proximity to the show.
Yeah, like I think they probably banked on that. Like when they made that announcement for Dynamite, they were like, "Oh, people know that that she's in town. We can kind of get them to think that Mercedes will show up, and then we can do this other surprise return instead," which we will obviously talk about. But yeah, it was a weird situation. And then on the heels of that, she was apparently set to travel to Southeast Asia to drop the last remaining title that she can actually defend. And then she winds up vacating the belt because there's weird stuff happening with her not being able to go. Now, you were telling me you did a little more research about this than I did. You told me that their people, or Mercedes people, were saying that the promotion was difficult to work with, didn't have the money or whatever, right?
Right.
And like, my question is, if that's true, why do you go to all the trouble of flying out a huge star, having them win your women's world, your top women's title belt, with the assumption that she's going to drop it later, because that's the assumption for literally every title belt in every promotion ever, only to like cheap out on the return flight? Like, who wins from that? Nobody wins from that.
No. So here's how I think this happened. Okay. Because being as long as I was in the music industry and still kind of working in it, this all reads very much that the promoter had an agreement and didn't have the money to fulfill his agreement. Whether he says he has proof that that's not the case, but I want to see that before I say that that's not the case, because this all seems very standard for this type of situation. And it happens a lot in the music industry. There's a lot of like young promoters up and coming who are like, oh yeah, I could get the money for this show and I could definitely make a mint on it. And they're right. They could make a mint on it, but the key is having the money beforehand to pay for the show. And they don't factor in, things like staging and lighting and all this other stuff and the type of venue that they'll need and the size of venue and how much business differs as you travel up that ladder. Right. This guy seems like a competent promoter. However, he's in Malaysia where the currency is very different. I mean, it's $10,000 to bring Mercedes out, plus flights and all that stuff. Or that's reportedly what it is. And that's probably a lot in Malaysian currency, like probably a whole lot. And that's,
to think.
I'm not saying it's like a third world country because I don't know much about Malaysia, but I do know that it's far away and it's an expensive flight probably. And
an expensive series of flights.
Yeah, series of flights. And I know that her appearance fee is also pretty steep. So how did we get in this situation? How did this guy that obviously doesn't seem to be on this level where he could pay $10,000 for a wrestler to just fly out and do a couple of shows, do it twice? How does this happen? Okay, well, here's how it happened. It's not really anybody's fault, but Mercedes or Tony or whoever it was backstage that had this idea set all this in motion to belt her up and make her Ultimone or whatever and give her, break the record and have more title belts at one time than anybody in different promotions and all that. To achieve that, they would have had to be the instigator. So they would have had to go to places like APAC and WXW in Germany and other places like that and be like, hey, we want this to happen. How it worked from there, I'm not sure. Because it's like, if AEW wants this to happen, they should kind of be footing the bill for the appearance fee. But in the case of a place like Malaysia, that's probably a really, really fucking expensive flight. In fact, I'm going to look it up right now. How much, if I wanted to fly to Malaysia right now?
From Winnipeg.
Yeah, from Winnipeg. I'll do from Winnipeg.
Because that seems to be the most likely thing. Because those dates were real close together. I can't imagine that she would go anywhere else for a day just to drop out. She'd probably just stay in town and see the sights or whatever, and then fly out from there. You'd have to think.
Yeah. Or
at the very least, hop on a plane and head towards like Vancouver or something, so that it's she's already on the coast and it's a less time flying in one shot.
Okay, say I wanted to go Friday and return Monday. If they did a weekend show, this would be typical. Okay. It would be more like in this case, it would have been Wednesday night. The show was probably Friday or Saturday, so I'll still have it returned Monday. One person.
Yeah.
It's a $4,300 US flight front and back, man.
Jeez Louise.
Let's see. Now, you know what? I want to answer my own questions.
And that's crossing, so many different, the international date line, so many different time zones. That's got to be nuts trying to figure all that out.
So we got the Malaysian ringgit. I hope I probably butchered that. Sorry. I'm not trying to be offensive. To USD is, so their one currency is worth a quarter.
Okay.
So 4 times whatever that is in their currency. So 16,000 plus.
Closer to 17.
Yeah, closer to 17 plus taxes and stuff.
200.
Yeah, something like that. Like that. Okay, so that's a lot. Okay, I'm sorry, that's a lot. And twice. Gotta do it twice.
Yeah.
So that makes her appearance fee $40,000 if he has to pay that. But I'm assuming AEW probably provided the appearance fee because they wanted this to happen and they were the instigator of it happening. So that they would have to bring something to the table. In this case, we're going to give you this huge star for nothing. We're going to cover her appearance fee because she's charging somebody. So they're like, we'll cover her appearance fee. You cover the flight. That makes it agreeable because it's half price to bring her in if you only got to cover the flight. And now, that's a lot. $4,200 for a flight. That's a lot, man.
It really
that's
is
a lot of money. Even
and that's not including putting her up in a hotel either, which she would probably require.
Yeah. Yeah. And so how'd this happen? They sought him out. They found the only promotion with any kind of internet visibility in Malaysia and probably didn't understand that it was not, they're just a basic, small town indie fed. They're not like a Malaysian powerhouse wrestling federation, apparently, because if that was the case, this wouldn't be the case. Now, if the guy tried to get things done, cool, whatever. I want to see the proof either way. Are we probably going to be privy to any of that? Probably not. There'll probably
Yeah,
be,
probably not.
somebody will pay somebody off. This is how wrestling works. Somebody pays somebody off.
Yeah.
Everybody shuts their mouth. And as bad as that sounds, that's how a lot of business is done. If there's bad feelings, like, oh, you didn't show up, we want our, a lot of wrestlers be like, well, I'm keeping the fee, and they're like, oh no. And then they end up having to pay it back because they get bad mouthed and it hurts their bookings. And, shit happens like that. It happens a lot more than people think. But that's, it's just so weird to me. Like, but also, this is probably I would say this probably accelerates her return, because now all she has is the Owen belt that she won, that isn't really a defending title. You don't really defend that. But there has to be something. I don't know. I feel like there needs to be something for her to come back to. I don't know if winning the Owen is going to be, twice in a row is going to be enough. There needs to be, I mean, I would say probably a world title match, if not a world title win.
I mean, you can always run it back with Willow, because the story writes itself. Remember, it's not just that she took her title; she also got embarrassed by her and Stat on the way out with the cake and all that stuff. Yeah. So, my guess is that whoever they have Willow, maybe they'll have Willow do an open challenge at Dynasty for the TBS title, and either Mercedes answers or somebody else answers, and then Mercedes attacks her afterwards.
Yeah, that's the only reason I can
see. If it was me, I would have her attack. I find, like, bring back Nyla Rose.
Yeah,
put her on TV. Bring her back, and then afterwards you have Mercedes attack her, because that way you get double your money's worth. Because it's not like Mercedes is going to win if they put her in that match. I don't think it makes sense to have her just come back just to win it again.
Yeah,
without a struggle. So without a story. So no. I think that you use that to put somebody over, to give some shine, rather, because they won't win either. Willow would win that match most likely, but you use that to give somebody else some shine, while then also reintroducing Mercedes. That's a better value.
I possibly the thing I see maybe is, like, maybe because I honestly do the CEO chants and the music and all that stuff. The dance, like, I think they desperately want people to cheer her. I think they really desperately want people to cheer her, and she fits so well into a heel role that it was easy for everybody to boo her, despite all of the face-friendly stuff that she did. Just in the ring and with the, with her, interest music and the dance and all that stuff.
She wrestles in a dynamic style that's very, it's honestly more of a babyface style that she wrestles than a heel style. Yeah. Because she's doing, like, these big flashy moves, meteors and stuff like that. She has to temper that with heel character work in order to get people to remain booing her.
So, but she's been gone for so long. I mean, not long time, but she's been gone long enough that, like, she could come back and be a face, and then they could put her against Tekla. And honestly, I think that's probably more likely for her return, especially if they're going to save it for Dynasty.
You know what? I don't see it, because she was such a jerk on the way out. I don't, people will cheer her just because she's a return and they missed her, but I feel like what Mercedes has done is right up there with what Tony and Hanger and Swerve and all, like, the top people in the company have done when it comes to carefully crafting and cultivating their character and their motivations and their storylines. I don't think that she's going to come back just to be a babyface from the off. I think that she will come back and gradually turn babyface with an accompanying, hopefully logical story, as opposed to just, oh, I'm back and I'm a, like, it just reeks of WWE, and some of their worst tendencies to just, have whoever returns be a babyface and completely change their character with no explanation whatsoever. I mean, even remember, like, even when MJF came back that first time, after that really bad injury he had, that he was nursing when he dropped the belt the first time. And, he came back and they leaned into the fact that he was being cheered because people were already cheering him when he was champion. And then he was gone. He was injured. And he filmed an Adam Sandler movie. And he came back. And he was acting like a babyface, or what passes for a babyface in MJF land, for like a month before he turned on Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
And Will Ospreay. So, I feel like the same kind of thing is going to happen, but in reverse, the opposite alignment switch with Mercedes. Not just because that's what should happen, but because I think she's careful with her character, and she's very cognizant of what she wants her legacy to be. And I think she wants to be be remembered for good work, both in the ring and storyline wise, feud wise, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would be seen fondly from this Smark crowd that watches AEW for her to just come back as a babyface with no explanation.
I mean, that's true.
We've been treated to a higher standard, and now we are spoiled. So,
yeah, I just had to move it that way for it to make sense to her, for her to face the.
We've moved the Overton window on it. Is what's happened.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I guess what happens with her. But yeah, that's kind of the news for the week. At least the biggest news. Except for the stuff we'll talk about on Dynamite and Collision. So,
So speaking of that,
yeah,
one of those things started off the show.
yeah. So we opened up Dynamite from Winnipeg, and like Tony Schiavone's in the ring, and he's like doing the opening of Dynamite announcement thing from in the ring, and there's like a table and chairs, like it looks like we're about to get some kind of promo or contract signing, and he starts talking about it, and then like a bunch of extra pyro goes off. Like it seems like it was badly timed, and then
initially you could just kind of wave it off as like, oh, that's weird. That was probably mistimed or whatever, and then it happens again.
Yeah, and then it happens again.
And it's like, oh, okay, something's going on.
Yeah, something's happening, and then Judas starts playing. Which is, so the craziest part about this to me, this whole thing, as weird as this, because I'm sorry, okay? Like, I'm sorry. I love AEW, guys. I love AEW. And we have been saying that it would be okay for Chris Jericho to make his return. We have been saying that. And it is okay. It's totally okay. But if you're going to tell me that this was not fucking weird, okay?
It's so strange.
It was strange, okay?
For several reasons.
Yeah, there were so many, like, it just kept getting weirder. Like, every time I was like, okay, the other shoe's going to drop. Nope, it's just a weird half shoe. And then we're going to move on to another one.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
So what happens, to set up what we're going to explain, what happens is eventually Judas hits, like you said. He has a brand new, Tron, and he comes out. He looks great, by the way.
Yeah.
He looks in better shape than I've seen him in years.
Yeah, he looks like he got in really good shape.
Incredible.
Yes. First time this
kudos
was
to
had
him.
abs in like 10 years.
Yeah,
No lie.
like,
And he has them, though. Holy shit.
I credit where it's due. The dude looks like he didn't take his time off lightly. He used it to heal up whatever nagging injuries he had and hit the gym pretty religiously, it looks like.
Yeah.
But then he comes out and he's just, this crowd, his hometown crowd just didn't like, they were like, oh, hey, it's that guy.
Yeah,
it wasn't like it wasn't like Conquering Hero Returned. It was like, oh yeah, he's from here. Yeah, okay.
They
his
had
dad and his mom and I assume like his aunts and uncles or whatever, because they were all elderly, were all in the front row. Like his dad is shown singing the song.
Yeah.
Which is a cool moment.
That is cool,
yeah.
but
like he's vamping in the ring trying to get some kind of reaction for what seems like an eternity.
Dude, God, yeah. Only like a quarter of the arena was singing the song. And I remember the days when the whole arena would sing the song.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was that they were off put by what was happening or if they just were really like so about it that they just didn't sing the fucking song. Like
it's really strange. Like you would think that this was the right call by Tony because it's in his hometown.
Yeah, like this
that's
would be
like
the
guaranteed
place.
pop. But like, and you know what? I want to say too that like this crowd didn't really react for a lot, so maybe it was just that. Maybe Winnipeg just isn't really all that loud.
Maybe I don't know.
Man. Like they did. Honestly, they didn't react. Like they didn't pop huge for anything until what? Maybe the final few minutes of Pac versus Ospreay.
Yeah.
Like that's like almost halfway through the show. Like so I mean for the most part they were pretty, I wouldn't say quiet, but I would say tepid crowd.
Yeah.
So I mean maybe you can just kind of write it off, but it was very jarring to see this happening and be like, really? Like even his hometown is like, are they really that sick of him? Like, I mean, he's been gone for what, 9-10 months now.
Something like that. He's been gone a while.
Like you'd think that would be time enough. Like, there is the argument, and there's a lot of validity to this, but the argument that AEW has Jericho's kind of he got left behind by what they restored the feeling, and that feeling was young, hyper athletic people in the ring, telling stories, and just having banger after banger after banger, and that's just not Jericho anymore.
No.
Jericho is like what, 56, something like that, and he can still tell a serviceable story in the ring. I still say that the match he dropped the title to Bandito, had maybe not bell to bell, but like the great fake out, fantastic. They hooked me. I know they hooked you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like he still has stuff to offer. I will stand by that. But I think that they're going to have to be really, really smart with how they go about using him, because he can't keep up with someone like Speedball.
No.
He can't keep up with somebody like Swerve would probably slow down for him. But he can't keep up with somebody like a Nick Wayne even.
No.
Or, I mean, God, put him in there against Darby and he'll run rings around him. Like, it's you've got to be judicious with how you use him from here on out.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's coming into play too, is like, what do you even do with him at this point? Because in his absence, and it was starting to change prior to his absence, but the roster is younger. It's more
Yeah.
athletic. It's faster. It's go go go. It's really hungry, and I don't know. Jericho isn't at like the level of a Sting in terms of like he's a legend and he's
Yeah.
about a good 10 years younger than Sting is thereabouts too. So he's not even really old enough to be venerated like that, you know? So like he's in this weird position where he's like this older established star, but you can't give him like the Sting treatment
No, you can't.
yet because like first of all their characters are completely different. And secondly, like he's really not old enough yet to be given that kind of venerated status.
Yeah.
So it's they have to be really. I really hope that Tony has a plan
Yeah.
because if this wasn't just Winnipeg being just kind of a in general kind of down crowd, you could be looking at some rough days
Yeah.
ahead
Yeah.
dealing
It
with
could
them.
be. It could be. Yeah. So he comes out, he paces around the ring forever. And then he just says, Winnipeg, pause, no real pop. AEW, pause, no real pop. And then I'm home. And a little bit of a pop. And then he leaves.
Yeah. This was why'd they do it this way?
I
Why'd they do it this way?
have no fucking idea.
Like he didn't do anything.
It was just very strange.
He starts off the show to not do anything.
Yeah, and now this week on Dynamite, he's supposed to break his silence. I mean, he wasn't exactly silent.
Well, I mean, four words is barely breaking a silence.
But still, he wasn't exactly silent. He just didn't say a whole lot.
Yeah.
And really, we shouldn't have to break his silence. We need to break the crowd's silence.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see.
The truth.
I guess we'll see if it was just Winnipeg or if the in-house, if the in-venue fans are just are really tired of him.
Two things of note about this too. Earlier that week, or like a week prior to it, it came out that Jericho had filed for the trademark to the name Cornerstone. So that might be kind of a peek into the kind of character that he's going to play. That could take a couple of different forms from, just off the top of my head. The second thing I wanted to note that I just noticed was that like they never said throughout the whole episode, whenever they mention him, not even the Tron, no mention of Chris. It was just Jericho.
Just Jericho, even on the Tron. Yeah.
Jericho on the Tron, which that makes sense. That's not even unusual. But even the commentators were like, Jericho this, Jericho that. Not Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Jericho this, Jericho that. So is he going like maybe like he thinks he's such a big star that he needs, like one name like Madonna or Prince. Or like something like that. So he's just going by Jericho. That could work for some comedy.
Yeah.
If he's played kind of a similar thing, but like if he was like an out of touch, delusional, about his own status and his own worth. That's kind of familiar territory. It's TV time with Chris Jericho, but honestly, the TV time stuff was the best part of the learning tree. So I'm kind of here and there on it.
Yeah, we'll see how this all goes.
Yeah,
but this was weird. It was weird on a lot of levels. It was an odd way to start off a show, especially for us to like have the sequence of events that we had, like just because like we moved from this to going to the backstage because Will Ospreay is beating up Jon Moxley back there.
Just beating the hell out
of him too. And then Wheeler tries to get involved and he gets the hell beat out of him too. And then he keeps beating on Jon Moxley for a little bit until security comes, and like a lot of them, and gets separated. Marina coming in looking like she wants to fight Osprey, which
I find it so funny. The security will come in to prevent the Death Riders from getting beat up, but where the hell are they when they're beating up the entire roster and
yeah,
choking people out and pouring chemicals down people's throats?
exactly,
Like,
exactly.
TK, your security is garbage.
Yeah, garbage. But then we get to
Hot garbage.
but then we get to our world championship match contract signing between MJF and Kenny Omega. And so they can't have violence because if Kenny gets violent, he doesn't get a shot. And if MJF gets violent, he forfeits the world championship.
Yeah.
Which I kind of hoped he would get violent, and that way we're like having, like these two guys in a championship match over a title that neither of them actually own. Because then if you get disqualified, like
Well,
the other guy
no,
wins, he wins the title. Like,
because then Kenny wouldn't get a shot at all because his shot for this title would be on the line with the no violence clause. So, you could say that MJF could be stripped and then face for the vacant title against somebody else, but it wouldn't be Kenny because he gave up his opportunity by getting.
What if he didn't get violent? What if MJF just attacked him? Like, that's what I was thinking. Like,
oh yeah,
that's not out of the question. I mean,
no.
But yeah, this they reacted a lot better to Kenny than they did to Chris Jericho.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
And MJF, of course. I mean, like, it's shit's already bad enough. Do you gotta play the shithead American like that? Like, do you got? I mean, I know you're a heel and all that.
I think
really,
honestly, I don't. It hits different in Mexico than it does in Canada.
Yeah,
like in Mexico, there's this long history where there's an archetype of evil American that comes in. Like, it goes back literally decades and decades.
Yeah.
That's just playing into a stereotype. There's not really that kind of thing in Canada.
No,
Not really.
No.
Not in a major way, anyway.
Yeah.
And considering what that kind of implies, considering the stupid stuff that the regime is doing right now and making America, is representing America in the worst possible light. Like, I don't know if you really want to go that route, especially given how that match ended.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's good luck. That may be, a very lefty point of view, but like, I didn't think it was a good look. Yeah. I don't know.
The Kenny and his, the promo was good. So Kenny's part of the promo was good, and then MJF and your intestines can explode at any time. And then Kenny's response about, like, I guess HIPAA laws don't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Excalibur would later go on to try and cover that by saying, "Oh yeah, well, I mean, like, Don Callis probably is still like weasels his way into being his emergency contact, and probably provided those for the MJF. They have a working relationship, blah blah blah." And I'm thinking, I don't know, that's pretty thin.
Like, we shouldn't do, like, she shouldn't even cover for it because it was dumb. Like, somebody should have came up, like, if they were discussing this at all backstage, somebody should have been like, hey, that's dumb. That's dumb. Like, don't do that.
You know what would have been better and fine and gotten the same thing over? I overheard you having a conversation on the phone with your brother or sister or boyfriend or whatever, and I heard you say this come out of your mouth.
Yeah.
That would have been so much better.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Would have been better, would have been believable, wouldn't have stretched the boundaries of good taste.
and also just the way they went with it, like his intestines can explode at any time, and Kenny Omega might just be dead tomorrow for no fucking reason. Like, that was, like, obviously not real, because if that was the case, he would not be wrestling.
Yeah, for
and
real.
and dumb. It was dumb. I'm sorry. Like the whole thing that MJF did here was like I cannot even like it for it being scumbaggy. It was just kind of dumb. Like, and
Yeah,
Kenny tried his fucking best. And Speedball really did try his fucking best when he eventually got involved. Um,
yeah. It was.
but I don't know, man. Like,
It just wasn't, even within the confines of wrestling. It wasn't really terribly believable.
no, it wasn't really believable, and it really wasn't MJF's best work by far. Like
No.
he could have done so many other like he could have just been the typical asshole that he always is, and it would have made this better without having to go into the extra stuff that made it unbelievable and kind of dumb. And I was just
Yeah.
like, man, that's like, like like there was a lot more this week that I was kind of iffy about or didn't like compared to like the last like 10 weeks or so. But that really kind of goes away pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Starting with this match.
Yeah. Omega flips the table. Speedball comes out, and he's like, he's not worth it. Don't give up your title shot. But I didn't sign anything. And basically, if you have the sack, come and face me in the ring.
Yeah.
And Kenny has that line where he said, "Oh yeah, as it turns out, I talked to your doctors too, and they said that I may not have any intestine, but you don't have any balls," or something along those lines. And because MJF's fatal flaw is that you can pretty easily get under his skin.
Yeah.
His ego is massive, but it's like a balloon. It's very fragile.
Yeah, all you gotta do is talk about hair plugs or tiny pee-pee, and he just
and he
has
just
a fit.
Kind of goes off the deep end.
And the crowd even chanted "tiny dick" at him.
Yeah,
they are actually chanting. I was like, okay, that's where we start, huh?
This is what you choose to chant.
Yeah, like
you half-heartedly sing Judas, but you'll chant "tiny dick"
in full.
All right,
yeah, it's weird, right?
But that's what persuades him to accept an eliminator match against Speedball in the main event tonight. He said he's going to be, basically he's just forecasting that he's going to be wearing his red, white, and blue trunks. So,
yeah, red, white, and blue trunks, or in this case, just blue and white, and then his flag. But yeah, after that though, Kenny, MJF ditches out because of course he does. That's what he does. He leaves. Yep. And then Kenny stays while his partners Jack Perry and Brody King, and then his opponents, the Demand, get introduced for this trios match that they have, and this is where business kind of picks up for me.
Yeah,
because this was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. I think that whatever happens after Dynasty, I think we need a legitimate Kenny Omega versus Ricochet extended program.
Yes.
Because what they showed in the granted, they've been in the ring with each other before. Yeah. But not like an extended kind of thing. I think that it's worth it from a in ring work standpoint alone. Like what they showed here is like, ooh, I want to see more of this. I want to see what they can do when they given like 15, 20 minutes, to just the two of them. Yeah. Because I think the only other time that they've faced each other, I think, was in a 3-way match with the international title on the line, I want to say. Maybe. But I don't know if we've seen. I can't remember if we've seen them face off one-on-one. And they certainly. I don't think they've had like a story with each other. So I want to see a story with those two.
They may have faced each other on the Indies somewhere like a while
Maybe.
back, but I don't remember them not like one time like in AEW since they've been here together. Like I don't remember. Like they were both in Lucha Underground at the same time. Wasn't Kenny in Lucha Underground for a little bit?
Uh,
So
I don't know.
I don't
I
know
don't
if he
think.
ever faced Prince Puma, but like I don't know if they did.
According to Cage Match, they faced each other in PWG in a singles match, and that is their only one-on-one encounter ever.
Hmm. Okay.
I was right. It was Kenny Omega versus Mike Bailey versus Ricochet. Uh, that was, I think.
Is that a national title match?
Oh, that was an international title match. I think because
Oh.
it was a Dynasty last year.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think, yeah. Let me double check this. Yeah, Kenny Omega walked in international champion, walked out international champion. That 3-way.
Okay.
It went 31 minutes.
Jesus. I have to rewatch that.
Yeah, I might have to too.
Yeah. But this match was pretty fun, man. Like I really like I like the way that they kind of tried to like kind of like play keep away with Bishop Khan. Like anytime he was
Yeah,
in there, they were like really avoiding being in the ring with him for too long.
yeah,
Um, and then like I really like that like Toa Leona is I like that he sells, but like I really feel like he should sell less.
I know. I
Like I feel
know.
like he should
Like,
sell less. Bishop Khan too. He looks like a fucking monster.
yeah,
Why
he
is
looks
he
like an action
selling for it?
figure.
Yeah, he does. Why is he selling for anybody? Like you couldn't have drawn him in
Like
like
that guy has. I mean, more than most people on the roster. Bishop Khan has the look.
yeah, yeah. If you drew
Like
him as a comic book character, people would be like, he's too unrealistic.
he looks at like $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. He does. And like I feel like him and Toa should be like I really feel like they should sell less. Like
Yeah,
it's cool that they are because like they don't really. I mean, guys, and they're like that like them. They don't really gotta. I mean,
no,
but at the same time,
especially
like
Toa.
yeah,
Like,
especially Toa. But like, and it's cool that they do sell. But
I
like
think it
they're
was.
not psychopaths for real. Like they understand that this is the
Yeah,
they understand that this is the game and this is how we play it. But like at
I
the
feel
same
like
time, like
this.
less selling guys.
If they were against different opponents, I think it would be different. But you're in there with Brody King, who's
Yeah,
bigger than Toa.
yeah,
You're in there with Kenny Omega, who needs to look good because he's heading into a world title match. You can't just like not sell for Kenny Omega.
that's true.
And then Jack Perry is just establishing himself as a national champion, so you need to make his stuff look good too. You can't make him look like a chump.
Yeah,
So like I feel like with different circumstances, be with their opponents, they probably would have sold a bit less. But that's
yeah,
not how this match was structured.
yeah,
Even from just the guys that are in it, let alone
yeah,
the story behind it. So uh, I agree in general. The Gates
yeah,
of Agony should be more dominant than they are. They
yeah.
really should.
They really,
They should be in line to be getting uh, either the tag belts or the trios belts within like 6 months.
I would hope so. I really would.
I don't even care which one it is, honestly. But they work so hard. They've finally gotten over in the demand,
Yeah,
and they look better than ever. Doing Ricochet's dirty work than they ever did as like 6-man tag champs or whatever
yeah,
in Ring of Honor with Brian Cage. So like their work should be rewarded.
yeah,
I feel belt them up, even for just a little bit. Like I feel like they have absolutely earned it.
yeah, yeah. I feel like that too. After that, we've got Willow Nightingale. Well, first of all, Omega and Brody King and Jack Perry win, obviously.
Yeah, one way an angel on Ricochet, boom.
Boom, it's over.
That is one of the good things. I'll give Ricochet some flowers here because like he's Ricochet, you know,
Yeah,
but he's always the one taking the pin. He doesn't have to. He is he's a legitimately bigger star than Toa Leona or Bishop Khan are singularly.
yeah.
He's still always the one taking the pin.
Yeah.
In these matches, like, so I feel like, I mean, he can always get his heat back. He's Ricochet.
Yeah.
He's one of the best heels on the roster. He's one of the best wrestlers on the roster. He can always get his heat back, and I think that's why he's so giving. Because he probably really wants to help Gates of Agony get over on their own. So he's constantly taking these pins.
Yeah.
Knowing that just on the basis of his work, he'll get back. He'll get back to where he wants to be.
Right.
But yeah, I don't like his choice of people that he hangs out with. I don't like the people that he chooses to follow and repost and signal boost online. But as far as in AEW, honestly, Ricochet hasn't really been anything but a net positive. So yeah, I'll give him the flowers that he deserves. Fair is fair.
Fair is fair. After that, we got Willow Nightingale issuing an open challenge for Collision. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And then after that, Cope and Cage are hunting for FTR, and oh my god, dude, he's gonna hit. So Renee's backstage. She's waiting for Cope and Cage to arrive. Cope said tonight's not the night. He knows Renee's just doing her job, but they're here to take out FTR and anyone who gets in their way. And Cage starts pulling his chair back to hit her, and he's like, "Wait, no,
not Renee,
not in our way."
And Christian Cage all but says, "But she's literally in my way right now."
Yeah,
but says that. The look on his face is like, "What do you?" Of course she's in our way. Look at where she is, standing right in front of me. She's in my way.
Right.
But then he just kind of walks off in a huff.
Yeah, he walks off in a huff. Cope catches up with him. He's like, Renee is not in our way.
I love this. And then Christian Cage is so funny.
Yeah. And then we come back from a break, and Cage and Cope are, they go to FTR's locker room, but they're not there. But Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero are. And
why?
I don't know. First of all,
why is anybody in there but FTR?
No
did RPG Vice need some time away from the family or something like that?
They went to Wrestler's Court, had a dress in the hallway, and so they're like, "Oh, this one's empty. Let's go in here." But it's FTR's, and so because they're in there doing whatever it is that they're doing, Cope and Cage are like, "All right, well, cool." They're like, "We'll be happy to take a message," which is something you never say in wrestling. Yeah. Veterans like Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero should know better than to say something like, "We'll take a message." Because
especially
yes, you will.
When the guys right in front of you are twice your size and wielding chairs.
Yes. So they get beaten mercilessly with chairs, and they say, "You make sure you give that message to FTR." So,
yeah.
So they got beat up for just being around. They broke one of the cardinal rules of wrestling. You don't ask to leave a. Can I take a message? You don't do that, and that's always every time anybody has ever been like, "I'll take a message." That's what happens.
Yeah,
it's like
they are not genre aware.
No, not at all. No.
You know what this makes me think though? Whatever reasoning they give for why the heck RPG Vice were in that locker room, it makes me think that FTR are retaining at Dynasty when the Don Callis family helps them.
Oh God, I hope not. I hope not.
I think we're gonna see this go all the way to All In, where they. But I thought it would just be Cope and Cage and the Bucks, but I think FTR is going to be involved in it too in a ladder match.
Oh man, see,
I don't know whether they'll win the belts in the in between or whatever, but I don't think that they're dropping the belts to Cope and Cage at Dynasty because this, well, like there's no other reason why it would be those two guys.
Yeah, I just like, I appreciate the Don Callis family for what they are and what they do, but I don't need them in every like they don't need to have their hand in every fucking storyline. Like it's like 45 minutes of like every show is already dedicated to them. Like
on the plus side though, if my hypothesis comes true, at least then in this feud, FTR will at least get one win over Cope and Cage, even if it is tainted by heel shenanigans. Because they've lost every single encounter with them so far.
That's true.
They've just gotten their heat back after the matches.
Yeah.
So, if nothing else, at least they can say that they got one win in the storyline.
Yeah. So after that, we've got Will Ospreay and Pac. And
this was great.
This was fucking
the opening to this was great, and the closing. I mean, everything was great, but the opening and closing bits especially were fantastic.
Yeah.
Pac comes to the ring, full Death Rider entrance and the whole bit, and he's standing there, and then Ospreay gets his entrance, but while he's doing his pre-match ritual, Pac comes from out of nowhere, must have run out of the ring, through the crowd or something, all the way back up onto the stage to blindside him on the ramp at the speed of light.
Yeah. Totally darbied him.
Yeah, completely just totally blindsided him. Hits him with a brain buster on the ramp.
Yeah.
And Ospreay's selling it looked like, oh my god, he broke his neck again. Like, it was a great way to set up this match and to reinforce Pac's character and to reinforce Ospreay's grit, because it set up the finish of this match, which was incredibly gutsy babyface stuff.
Yeah. It was really good, man.
Pac hits the black arrow.
Yeah,
lands it. And then, but it's not enough. He could have pinned him right there.
Yeah.
Hardly anybody. I can't remember the last time anybody kicked out of the Black Arrow in AEW.
No.
But he goes into the Brutalizer from there, and Ospreay spends a long time in various ways trying to get out of it. And it looks like, man, are they going to have him loose?
I thought so for a second.
Really going to have him lose just to put over how bad his neck is and how he's facing an uphill battle against Mox? Because the way they planned this out, I really thought I could actually see them doing that. And honestly, if you're going to prevent a guy who's getting put in that position a win to give him momentum heading into it, that's a really good reason, because it's a storyline reason. It's telling you should be afraid for his chances.
Yeah.
And for his career, for that matter, and his health. But no, instead, he makes it to the ropes, but Pac repositions, but in so doing, in the roll through, he gets outmaneuvered, and his shoulders wind up on the mat for 3 from Ospreay, who just basically distributes his weight differently to get it.
Yeah.
Counter wrestling.
Yeah.
It was marvelous finish.
Oh, it was great. I was like, hell yes, fine. Like, at least they didn't do that. Like, I mean, I could see the reasoning, but at the same time, I was like, oh god, that's so relieving. But then after that, Pac's like pissed.
Yeah.
And he tries to attack Ospreay, but Ospreay has just enough to hit a hidden blade on him. And it was like gnarly out of nowhere. Oh god, it was crazy out of nowhere. Just took his head off.
So him finding the hidden blade as a finish is really inspired, because it looks great every time. Yeah. You can hit it from a variety of different angles. You can hit it on any size opponent. And it's like the easiest thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it looks sick every time.
Yeah.
Like it's like the perfect pro wrestling finish. So much that Tama Tonga stole it.
Yeah. So he hits him with that, but then Garcia and Yuta show up, and then Claudio shows up, and they kind of give him a beat down, and then Moxley and Marina Shafir show up, and they put the chair back around Ospreay's neck, and then instead of stomping on it, Mox cuts a promo about how this night could have gone.
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
a poignant message. I mean,
it's like, how did you think this was gonna go? Was what he said. There's 6 of us.
Yeah.
I mean, logical question.
That's true. That's true. Which means Ospreay needs friends again. Why is it
No,
that
he
every time
won't.
somebody takes on the fucking Death Riders, it's just them, just like one guy in the Death Riders?
Well, I mean, as we'll see on Collision, this serves right here as a story beat to progress the story.
Yeah.
From where it was. We'll get to that when we get to it.
Yeah.
But we will revisit it.
Yeah. After that, we've got Mina Shirakawa and the Brawling Birds versus the Triangle of Madness. And
the crowd could not care less.
Yeah, they couldn't care less.
It made me real sad.
Yeah,
those girls were working their tails off too.
They really were. They put on a really great match, and I just like the crowd was not into it, and I was like, so, like, because I was into it. I was like, hell yeah, this is great. Like they're really fucking working. They're having a great time out there. Like it was a good match. I felt like it was too short.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was the only women's match on the show, I was like, God damn it! Like.
And it was, it was a kind of a milestone too, because this is the first time since they've been teaming up that them spooky bitches as a trio have lost.
Yeah, they took an L, which I didn't expect actually.
Yeah, me neither, because they've been built as a trio. They've been built to look nigh unstoppable.
Yeah, but I guess the Brawling Birds are the answer to that.
Yeah,
because that's what they seemed. I don't
Tekla
know why.
Looked like she was gonna hit with the brass knucks again. But she gets intercepted. She eats she eats the heart attack. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah.
And then Julia, who's the legal woman at the time, eats a haterade for the win.
Yeah. But like, so why are the Brawling Birds going after the tag title already? Like that. It's the only question I have.
Well, I mean, the out of story reason for that is that they're saving the moment that they win for Wembley. Very clearly.
Of course they are.
I mean, and honestly, that's the play.
Yeah.
That's the play. That's the play they should make. In story, Tekla doesn't, I mean, Tekla doesn't have a world title challenger.
Yeah.
They'll set up on this one. I'll spoil a little bit. On Collision, they use this as justification for Tekla, or for Jamie Hayter challenging Tekla for the world title, bringing up the point that only 2 women have a win against Tekla in singles competition in AEW since Tekla arrived, and Hayter's one of them. So
that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was done solely to set up a one-off. I don't think Hayter wins.
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't think Hayter wins. I think they use this as just kind of a stepping stone for different things when they can set somebody else up. Because the plan for them isn't for singles belts. It's for them to win the tag belts at Wembley.
Yeah. After that, we've got Darby Allin, and he's on the mic talking about he told MJF he would keep his foot on the throttle until he won the championship or saw God.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, fair enough. But then the Don Callis family kind of shows up, and Callis says if Darby can beat a member of the family at Dynasty, then MJF will grant Allin a title shot, and he's going to face Andrade.
who it very much is obvious that that's news to Andrade.
Yeah, he's like, what do you mean? Like, what?
Like, I don't want to face that guy.
Right?
Even he doesn't want to face crazy Darby Allin.
Yeah. But then, and he also said that MJF paid for the family to take out Allen. And so they go to try to take him out. And they're interrupted by Brody King and Jack Perry and Kenny Omega, who
Yeah.
come and save Darby Allin, even though he's very skeptical about the whole thing.
Well, I mean, I don't understand why Jack and Brody are there. I understand why Omega's there because of the forever feud with Don Callis.
Yeah.
That I understand. Like, that's justification enough for him to be literally in Don Callis' business literally anytime he does anything.
Yeah.
Why he chose this moment with this guy as opposed to the myriad other Don Callis moments where he could have interfered, beyond me. But it still kind of makes sense. I really don't know what the deal with Jack and Brody is. Like, Brody, like, they would have a segment on Collision too, but it, kind of going over their history, but it didn't really it didn't explain why.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
They basically just said, yeah, our histories are all complicated. And not even just our histories are all complicated, but we all hate Don Callis. They didn't even say the Don Callis, but they're just like, yeah, we've got complicated history.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of left it at that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, at least the Jack Perry just kept reiterating that Darby lit him on fire.
Yeah, you lit me on
as
fire.
If he was accepting it. I feel like he kept doing it to try and prompt an apology at Darby, but Darby was completely. He's like, nah, I'm not gonna apologize.
I ain't doing all that. Sorry.
I did what I did.
Yeah.
I don't take it back.
After that, we've got our main event, which is our championship eliminator match between MJF and Speedball. And man, this was fucking great, man. Like, this match was fucking really good, bro.
Dude, I don't know if there's somebody who's on a bigger role in terms of reliably having a fantastic match every time he goes out there than Speedball. Like, he is just every single time he's up to bat, he's hitting home runs, man. Like, every variety of opponent. Like, the dude he's very much the MVP of March and April.
Yeah, for sure.
And so far,
he's been killing it,
just from a TV wrestling standpoint.
Yeah.
But that just Kenny is on commentary for this too.
Yeah.
He makes a remark about how he respects Darby Allin and brings up the fact that he's never faced Darby in AEW. And I'm like,
that hadn't happened
it's been 7 years and that match hasn't happened yet?
Why, for the love of God, not?
Kind of crazy.
Oh, why not?
And now it makes me want to see that match.
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to
see that match.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know I needed it until it was brought up that it never happened, and now I need it.
Yeah,
so
I need it bad.
I mean, whether it's for the world title or not is immaterial. I just want to see what they do. Those are two very creative guys in very different ways. Mm-hmm. So I would very much like to be witness to that match for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm going to Double or Nothing. I may wind up seeing it.
Maybe, dude. Maybe. But yeah.
He also on commentary mentions that MJF is good enough to win on his own, but he just never really does. And then that sets up MJF winning essentially clean.
Yeah.
Like, he did some eye rakes and, heelish, non-disqualifiable things throughout the match or whatever. But, I mean, he got the win clean with a tombstone piledriver on the second hardest part of the ring.
Yeah.
The ring apron is not as hard as a solid steel ring post, guys. It's
No,
just not.
it is fucking not.
All right, it's plenty hard, but it's not that hard. And then he hits the heat seeker, and then it's 1, 2, 3, and that's essentially clean. So like it kind of proves that he could do it on his own, but he's a chicken shit.
Yeah.
Like so.
I mean, I thought the match was really good. I
Yeah.
guess like we said, Speedball's been showing out, man. Like he's really maximizing his time. Man,
he's
and
got
I thought
to be like he's got to be the next TBS champion. Like that looks like he's going to be that's going to be the trajectory. He's got to be the next TBS champion. Whether that means he beats Kyle, I don't know the nature of Kyle's injury, how long he's going to be out. There's still like no word on what it is, let alone the severity of it.
Right.
So if he has to vacate or if he sticks around and he beats him anyway, or they do the interim title, whatever, I don't care. The next guy has to be Bailey.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
With the role that he's on, who else could it be? Who else should it be? Nobody. It's Bailey.
It's Bailey.
Bailey's the guy.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a pretty good episode of Dynamite. The beginning was weird. But then after we got past the weirdness, it actually turned into a pretty good episode of wrestling. Like once we got to the actual wrestling, it was fine.
I do wish the crowd was a little bit more into it.
Yeah.
Sadly, they weren't. And it makes me sad.
And then we got them again for Collision. From Winnipeg this week. This was on Thursday night. I guess because of Easter. Collision's on Thursday night because of Jesus, guys. But I mean, I guess it's fine. Not Good Friday. Not on Easter. They could have done. I mean, is Saturday a significant? Is there a name for that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Crucifixion Bonanza Saturday or something. I don't know. Like, is there a Saturday thing? Because I don't know. Like, it was always just good. We didn't even do Good Friday because I was a Baptist, so it was just Easter.
Good Friday, I think, is a little bit more of a Catholic and possibly Orthodox thing, but so far as most Protestant denominations, I don't think they really. From my experience, I don't think they really make a big deal of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So anyway, this happened on Thursday because of the holiday weekend. I guess we're just trying to, let everybody have
get
their
people
time.
home. Get people home to celebrate Easter with their families if they want, I guess.
Yeah. Here as we record this on Easter.
Yeah, but we've done all the Easter stuff.
Yeah, we did. Okay,
we're recording this. It's 10:55 EDT right now.
Well,
as in this moment. So
the only thing I haven't done is eat myself to sleep on deviled eggs, which is going to happen immediately after we're done here. So
yeah,
and then I'm going to spend the next 2 days regretting it. But well, everybody else in my proximity is going to regret it for the next 2 days. Maybe not me. But,
the cloud that's going to follow you.
Yeah. Oh man, it's like Pigpen from Charlie Brown, except it's not dirt,
It's not dirt. It smells worse.
Anyway, we start with our Continental Championship Eliminator match between Jon Moxley and Anthony Bowens, which I thought was
really liked
really
this.
good, man. Yeah, I did too.
John
by the end, I definitely
so,
wanted Bowens to win. By the end, man, I really did want
Moxley
to win.
was so giving. And like this whole run, really, he's been very, very giving. Even though he's winning all these matches, really, for the most part, like he's using his clout to get other people over, even in beating them. Like, I can't remember the last time that Bowens looked this good against an opponent.
I can't either. He looked great,
even in major wins that he's had.
Yeah,
he was aggressive. He took him out. He took him out into the stands.
Yeah,
he was. Moxley was selling all the dude's strikes. Like he was really putting over his strikes, especially.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if I had to split it, I would say that Mox probably only controlled about 35 to 40% of the match.
Yeah, I'd say probably on the lower end of that too. Like
he must really like Anthony Bowens.
Yeah.
And he's not alone. Like, I mean, if you were on Blue Sky earlier, a couple days ago, he was answering questions from fans about, his patience and uh, the faith that he had that his patience will play off, pay off, and how his presentation isn't exactly what he envisioned, but that he hopes to be able to incorporate more of his vision into it soon. That kind of thing. Like, I think that this match, if I was Tony Khan, would go a long way towards convincing me that it was something that he deserves.
Yeah.
Because that dude put in a performance.
Yeah,
a very, very credible one against a 4-time former AEW world champion.
Yeah. Basically the ace of the company.
Yeah.
And yeah, he put on a killer fucking performance. I thought it was really good and a great way to start off the show, man. Like, you're having me hyped, like, going into the next one. But after that, so Moxley beats him.
So yeah, Bowens hit him with 3 mollywops, but still couldn't beat him.
Yeah, that kind of got me. I was like, 3, and he didn't get him. Damn, like.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not unusual for Mox, because like he's known for taking the strikes and having a really strong chin. Like, he takes orange punches like it's nobody's business. Yeah. Whereas literally it knocks out literally everybody else on the roster.
Yeah.
So like that's actually consistent with how he's been portrayed. I still don't particularly care for it, but at least it's consistent.
Yeah. But so then, like, Bowens goes for the pin, Moxley gets him in the Bulldog, and then like Bowens tries to escape from the Bulldog, but like literally escapes right into the Death Rider and catches a Death Rider for his trouble, and that's the 3. And I was like,
yeah, it was around 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, great match.
Great stuff, though.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Great stuff.
Really good. Yeah. After that, though, Moxley's celebrating as he does for a couple of seconds before Will Ospreay shows up and starts whooping his ass. And he grabs a steel chair and he's gonna go take out Mox. And the Death Riders come out and save him, basically, from getting the. I don't know what he intended to do with the chair, but it may have been wrap it around his neck and stomp on it. Which may be the way this ends.
That was what was going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. But Ospreay, he was like, it's not. I guess did he say it wasn't personal? Like, did he actually say it wasn't personal?
Mox had said, I don't consider this personal. Don't make it personal.
Yeah.
Prior to this. And Ospreay winds up saying, I don't know how you can say that this isn't personal, because literally every other time that you've had somebody, that you and the Death Riders have done this to somebody, you've had Claudio do the deed. With me, you did it yourself. And that says something. Then he goes off and he said, you know what I like about this Continental title is that everybody is barred from ringside. And this is where we tie it back into what we saw before. Because if you remember, when this match was set up initially, it was not stated that the Continental title was on the line. It was assumed to be just a regular non-title encounter. And now
we even assumed that because of the time limit thing and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Now there's a reason for him to want the Continental title to be on the line, not just because the Continental Championship is on the line and that he can win it, but also because he can have Moxley to himself without the fear of the Death Riders getting involved like they always do.
Yeah.
As he put it, I can do a lot of damage in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So
can Moxley, though. So
I like this development, because now there's kind of a reason for him to want the title on the line that's not even primary. It's actually secondary to his desire to just beat the piss out of Jon Moxley. So that if it goes the distance and it goes to a draw, he can still get a Pyrrhic victory and you don't have to move the Continental title onto him.
Yeah.
Because I think we're all pretty much in agreement that the plan is to move the big belt onto him at Wembley, right?
I mean, I would figure. Yeah.
You know, so why would you put the Continental title on him in the interim? That doesn't make any sense. And there's only, there's 4 months in between Dynasty and All In. Like, what purpose would that even serve? You'd have to probably get the belt off of him before he enters the Owen anyway. Yeah. Because we know that that's the way in. The person who wins the Owen gets the title shot at All In.
Yeah.
So, unless you're going to do like a real short reign, or I suppose you could pull WrestleMania 21, where like when John Cena was chasing, he won the #1 contendership to face JBL for the WWE title while he was still the U.S. champ. But as part of the storyline, JBL caused him to lose the U.S. title to cabinet member Orlando Jordan, which in and of itself was a mistake because it was Orlando Jordan. But at least it got the belt off of him and it made a storyline point of it. I suppose they could do something similar, but the Continental title with the no interference thing that they have rigidly stuck to makes that a little bit more difficult to kind of emulate.
Mm-hmm.
He would have to take a clean loss, more or less. Like the guy he's facing could cheat, but he couldn't have outside interference. So like, I feel like I'm wondering if maybe they go to 20. Moxley escapes with the belt, but Ospreay just whoops him, just completely destroys him with a chair or something after the fact. So, Moxley walks away with the belt, but, the Pyrrhic victory, the moral victory goes to Ospreay.
Okay. Yeah, I still don't know how they're going to play this. Like, I think I want to say Ospreay wins, but he doesn't like. I don't want him to win that title, man. So yeah, like
the other thing that you could do is we've not seen a Continental title match lost by count out or DQ. Just because there's no interference doesn't mean you can't get DQ'd by using a weapon or something. What if Moxley decides that there's no way that he can beat Ospreay cleanly, that he's in too much trouble, and just gets disqualified? Doesn't lose the belt. I mean, it's very WWE coded.
This time though, like that, don't you lose the belt if you're disqualified as a
champion? There's no clause in the Continental title rules that says that the belt changes hands on a DQ or a count out. Just that there's a time limit and that there's absolutely no interference allowed. That's it.
Okay.
So this could be the opportunity to take advantage of the circumstances surrounding the special rules for the belts, to do something they haven't done before. I don't know how well it would go over because it's very, we've booked ourselves into a WWE type corner. How do we get ourselves out of it? And this is not, I don't know if this is the audience you want to do that with, but I don't know. I mean, it's something they could do. They might be able to get away with that as long as Ospreay looks good at the end of it. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. After that, we've got a backstage vignette with Andrade, Mark Davis, and Okada, and it's basically just Okada talking about how Kyle's his best friend and trying to, irk Takeshita. Basically, like it seems like this whole thing is just for Takeshita to see it and get mad about it.
Yeah, like we're just spinning our wheels here. When are they going to pull the trigger on this?
I don't know, but I hope it's soon because I'm getting tired of the spinning. To be honest.
Me too. Like when are we just going to have it out? Just have it out. Have Takeshita win and become international champion again. Turn babyface and leave the Don Gallows family. Like just do it. You've been teasing it for a year. Just do it already.
Just do it.
I'm so tired of waiting for it.
Right?
as Batista would say, "Give me what I want."
Yeah. After that is your favorite weekly segment.
Oh yeah, it's time for Giant Condor of the Week. This week featuring the Divine Dominion beating the absolute garbage out of Ava Lawless and Kristara, our Giant Condors of the Week. Give these ladies a hand. They took a drubbing and in quick fashion.
Oh god, it was so
Kudos
bad.
to you.
Yeah. And that was the only squash match of the week. Like the only one.
No, FTR would have one later in the show.
Yeah, later they would. But these are.
It was a different flavor. It was actually, I wouldn't even call that a squash. It was a different flavor of enhancement match.
Yeah. This was definitely a Condor level squash, though.
Yeah.
After that, we've got Moxley backstage with the Death Riders, and he's pissed, obviously, and he's saying that Ospreay being 100% is a bluff, and that's not true. But he likes to let delusional people be delusional.
Yeah.
He's like he said, Mox doesn't have to beat Will. Will's going to beat himself.
Maybe I see that's the thing too. That line was what said, oh, maybe Ospreay will get himself DQ'd when he goes too far. Like that's what I'm thinking. Maybe they'll do the very rare DQ finish.
Yeah. Maybe. We'll see what it is. After that, the Hurt Syndicate's back.
Yeah.
And they say they're looking to add to their ranks. So I guess they'll be handing out business cards again. Now, I have seen a couple of preliminary rumors online, and one of them is that the fourth guy might be Lio Rush, and in his current gimmick, please, dear God, fucking no.
I don't think
please, dear fit. God, fucking no. Hell no, it's not a fit.
You know what the funny thing is? Like, Lio Rush has that connection with Bobby Lashley.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, like, I remember being kind of annoyed by it because Lio was in a manager role when he's an incredibly entertaining wrestler to watch. But, like, at least to put him on TV. But, like, there is that built-in relationship, but like you said, with the Blackheart thing going on,
no,
I don't think that's a good idea. That's not a fit for the Hurt Syndicate.
No.
Regular Lio Rush, yeah, I see it.
Last time Lio Rush was with Bobby Lashley, I forget who they were feuding with, but he threatened to call CPS, which was like the funniest thing I'd ever heard up to that point in a wrestling promo. I was like, that was gold. It was gold. I was like, damn, because Lio is pretty little compared to Bobby. Like
he's 5'4". He is not a tall man.
No, he's not. But yeah, I heard a rumor it might be him, but maybe if it was just if it was Crew, maybe Crew would have fit.
Yeah,
but not Lio. Unfortunately, not in current state. So I don't know who. I mean, there were options, but now like Ricochet's clicked up, Hobbs is gone. Mm-hmm. I hate to assume that it's going to be a person of color, but
I mean the last one they chose was not.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But even
then that was always a weird fit anyway.
That was a weird fit, and I'm not that's not me playing a race card at all. Like I'm just trying to think of who would fit. And like a really top tier black athlete would be perfect for the Hurt Syndicate. And I'm trying to think.
The one I want is the one that makes the most sense. But Cedric Alexander, I think, is in TNA right now. Now, okay, granted, even if the Swole thing weren't muddying the waters there, because I don't think that Cedric would come to AEW as long as Swole and TK are still on bad terms. I just don't think it's going to happen. He's going to stand by his wife. That's not a bad thing. Okay?
No.
It's not.
No.
You got to stand by your partner. I understand that completely. Even if, if enough time has passed, that fence should be mended, and TK should be the one to reach out and mend that fence.
Yeah.
He should be the one to extend the olive branch and accept the fact that he went on social media and really just like did her dirty. Like, okay, I think her claims were unfabricated. I really do. For all the reasons that Tony stated. Like, he himself is a person of color. Mega Perek, who was HR director at the time, person of color. Like, it's not like there weren't advocates for issues that face people of color in the system.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't necessarily think that her criticisms, you hate black people or whatever it was, you don't push black people, especially now that there are prominent black athletes all over the show in great positions on the card, all over the show. So even if that was a criticism that he had, he clearly took it to heart and fixed that.
Do you think?
But him saying, saying all that, but then adding, I let her go, because he's never said this to anybody else that he's released ever. He never said this about anybody. He said, I let her go because her wrestling wasn't good enough. That's not something you say to a wrestler.
No.
Not as somebody in the industry. We're fans. We can have our opinions. We're the ones paying the money.
Mm-hmm.
We have a show where we have our favorites. We have our opinions. But his position was, as her former boss, going very, very public with it and burying her talent.
Mm-hmm.
That was a bad look. It was like the first bad look that Tony gave.
Yeah.
And he should absolutely apologize for that.
Yeah.
But I don't think Cedric comes in without that. That said, if it wasn't in the way, I don't even think him being with TNA is a barrier right now. Because if they're putting people on like 6 months contracts of all things, all you got to do is wait it out.
Yeah. Do you think maybe Swerve?
No. Because Swerve would want to lead it.
That's true.
Swerve's whole thing now that he's turned heel is power. He doesn't gain any power from being MVP's lackey or being equals with anybody. If he's going to have guys around him, he's going to be their leader.
Yeah. Did they bring back the tattooed guy?
Oh, Trench.
Yeah, Trench.
Ugh, Lordy. The Mongol Embassy was the worst.
It was bad.
It was bad. It was really bad. I mean, it wasn't so bad when it was the Gates of Agony and Cage, but it was the worst when it was Trench and Parker Boudreaux.
Yeah.
That was awful.
Awful.
Absolutely. Because it wasn't the Mogul Embassy. It was just Mogul Affiliates. That's what it was. Mogul Affiliates was bad. Yeah, it was awful.
But yeah, from one return to another, Willow Nightingale has her TBS Open Challenge, and her opponent is a returning Hikaru Shida.
Oh, so glad.
Man, we were talking about this just last week.
Yeah. For real, now was the time. With Tony gone, it leaves a huge vacuum for probably multiple women to step in and fill the void. So, honestly, nobody probably wants to see somebody, their coworker and their friend, get hurt and be out for the rest of the year. But in this business, that does open up opportunities.
Yeah.
So. I'd say that Shida had I thought the match was pretty good. A little bit of ring rust,
just a little bit,
not
much though.
But it could have been much worse.
Yeah.
She looked competitive. And she lost with a backslide, which I hate. I hate backslides.
I
We're not in
I knew you were gonna.
1970.
I knew this was coming. I knew it as soon as I saw the
I,
backside. I was like, I don't hate it.
it's not 1972 anymore. Like, can we get rid of the backslide, please? Like, I hate it. I know it's just an aesthetic thing. It's just a me thing. Your mileage will vary as an individual. That's fine. I hate backslides irrationally. I don't even know why I hate it so much. I just hate it. I just hate it. But what it did allow is a way for her to lose without getting like knocked out and having to sell on the floor or whatever, because she comes up and she teases behind her back, hitting her with a kendo stick. I'm like, oh, all right, this is interesting.
Yeah,
We're okay with this. I'm okay with seeing where this goes.
yeah.
So
I'm definitely keen to see how this turns out because this kind of feels exactly like what we were talking about.
yeah. I mean, I feel like you can still build her to win the belt at All In, and then hold on and face off some heel challengers until Tony gets back, and then turn heel in the middle of it just to drop the belt to Tony again. Like, I feel like there's a story to be told there. So, because let's not forget that Hikaru Shida is in the weird position of being one of only two women to have held that belt 3 times. One of those reigns is the longest reign in the history of that belt, and one of the others is the shortest.
Yeah,
And in fact, I think both of her other reigns are, I think, the shortest and second shortest reign with that belt. So it's a weird position to be in.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to look it up right now just to be sure about it. Let's see here. Thank you, Wikipedia. Karushida. Let's see. Yes, I was correct. She has the longest reign at 372 days, and the shortest reign at 25, and the second shortest at 39.
Oh my
Even
gosh.
Saraya had a longer title reign than Shida did.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's a little ridiculous.
Yep. It's yeah. So it's a weird position to a dubious distinction. She had the longest during the pandemic. She held it down, but honestly, the division wasn't what it would become back then either. So she had the longest reign during its weakest point.
Yeah.
And then she has the 2 shortest reigns as well, as transitions between Tony Storm reigns, basically. Like Tony dropped the belt to her. She dropped the belt to Britt. Or not Britt, Saraya.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was the third one. I can't remember what the second one was. But then Saraya would drop it back to Tony, I think.
Yeah, I think
no,
so.
Saraya dropped it Saraya dropped it back to Shida. And then to Tony, I think. That's what it was. So Tony Storm is like essentially her arch enemy because she keeps beating Shida for the belt.
Well, that would explain. I mean, that would actually feed my theory about her being the one to have attacked her.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I am too, actually.
Absolutely. She used to be the ace of this division. She can be again.
Yeah.
Now that she's back from over a year's absence. So.
Yeah. A whole year, man. Holy crap.
Oof.
And more, because it was 2024 last time we saw.
It was like November 2024, I think, was the last match. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like almost like a year and a half almost.
Yeah. So yeah, my wife was sitting with me watching this, and like she didn't keep up with. She's not like a terminally online wrestling fan like I am. So she didn't keep up with the stuff. So she was like, so where's she been for a year and a half? And I was like, you don't want me to tell you. And she was like, what? And I was like, you don't
It'll
want me
make
to
you
tell you.
mad.
She's like, what? No, she's just sitting at home in Orlando. And she was like, just sitting at home. And like, she was hurt though, right? No. And she's
No.
like, what the fuck? Like, it made her live it. She's like, what the fuck? That's stupid.
Yeah,
And I
because
was like, I
Sheeta's
agree.
awesome.
Yeah,
I love
right?
Sheeta. Big fan.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it looks like we might get a heel Sheeta, so we'll see how that all plays out. After that, we have our World Tag Team Champions FTR against Mojabai and London Lightning, who I'm assuming are local guys to Winnipeg.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure London Lightning has done work with Mystery Wrestling.
Okay. I know I've heard that
Uh,
name before.
Yeah, me too. He's got an interesting look.
Yeah.
Got he had a great spot in this. Like, this was a very different kind of enhancement match. Like, Mojibari tags in London Lightning after like everybody gets like doubled down.
Yeah.
And London, he comes into the ring and it looks he's fired up. He's like, I want to punch somebody, and both of his opponents are already on the ground. And he looks at them and he's like, they're not getting up. Huh. All right, well, I'll go pin Dax. Dax immediately kicks out at one, shatter machine, boom, done.
Yeah. It's like, what the?
No, I
They
thought it was
possum
brilliant.
him.
I thought it was brilliant heel work.
It was pretty good.
Fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've ever seen a possum be played quite like that.
Right. Right. Yeah. It was.
You know,
it was really
Fantastic
different.
stuff.
Yeah. I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was really cool. They it was cool, but right after they hit that shattered machine, and like, you know, here comes Christian Cage's music and he comes out of the top. And then Cope's music hits and he also comes out the top. So we're not no surprises this time, because I mean Cash was looking for it.
Yeah,
He was sure looking
he was
for
doing
them
the
to come.
smart thing and scanning the crowd for him.
Yeah. But they both come out and they have chairs and they go to attack, you know, FTR. And I mean, it actually looks like FTR gets the upper hand for a little bit, and they like go to Spike Pile Driver Cage, but he takes him out with a low blow, like in the Spike Pile Driver. Did he bite him?
He did.
He did. He bit him.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, I think he did. He bit him, right? Like, because it says low blow in my thing, in my notes, but
he did hit him with a low blow, but I think he then also bit him.
Yeah, I think he bit him. Yeah. And but then Cope hits an impaler on Wheeler, and then they try to get Wheeler up for a concerto, but Stokely comes and pulls the chair, and two members of security, then they come out and they try to like calm Cope and Cage down, but they get beat up, and then Cage puts one of the guards in the concerto position and hits a guard with a concerto.
Yeah, those last two guards were like the most active. Security guards aren't supposed to actively attack people. They're supposed to hold them back.
Right, exactly. Like, I was like,
but these two douchebags were like, no, we're gonna, like, in kayfabe anyway.
We're really doing
like,
our jobs.
No, we're like, no.
We're serious.
Like, maybe they do something different in Canada.
I guess. I don't know. That must be it, dude. Because I was like, what are y'all doing? Like, why did you just
it's
hit
not
them?
even like they were trying to restrain them. It was just like they were going out punching them. Like,
yeah, when I worked on security, if I'd
doing?
have ever hit a wrestler like that, I probably would have got fired.
Yeah.
And then, like, how dare you do something so stupid out there? And yeah, I mean, maybe it's different. Maybe they were told to do that. I can't imagine why.
Yeah.
I don't know. That part was very weird to me.
Maybe they did it that way simply to justify, like, why the ostensibly baby faces would actually do
maybe
a concerto to a security guard.
Maybe. Yeah, because I was about to say, well, I mean, but it was Cage, who's not really a baby face. He's definitely an asshole.
Yeah, but Cope would have stopped him if he didn't get attacked.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, I mean, he got attacked first, though, so of course Cope didn't.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, well, he had it coming then. Like,
yeah, he must have had it coming. Yeah. I mean, that's all I can think anyway.
the only thing that really makes sense to me.
Yeah. So after that, we go backstage. We got Lexi there, and she's with the Brawling Birds and Mina. And this is pretty much all Jamie Hayter, who basically talks about how, she didn't really lose the AEW Women's title. It was kind of taken from her. And, that she wants Tekla at Dynasty. And, but I guess she's facing Tekla on Dynamite? Or is she actually facing her at Dynasty?
At Dynasty.
At Dynasty, okay.
At Dynasty, yeah.
Okay, so we'll get that, and I mean, of course, she's takes her British liberties. I'm gonna beat the piss out of her.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, it looks like we'll get that'll be a nice women's match for Dynasty, but I don't think the title will change hands on that one, really.
I don't think so either. It's for Tekla to get her win back and to build her reign into something a little more substantial.
Yeah. After that, we've got the match that probably entertained me the most this week altogether, and that's Ciampa versus Juice, because Juice always entertains the shit out of me. I'm really partial to Ciampa also, but Juice really entertains me.
Yeah, now that he's back to being wacky, he's much more fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like when he came back from injury and he was like serious Juice, I'm like, I don't want this.
No.
Like his whole shtick, his style really only works if he's a loon.
Yeah.
Like, because otherwise, he makes up for the fact that he isn't quite as like athletic or like or whatever with his enormous personality. If you take away that personality, he's just kind of an average wrestler. So please do all the goofy stuff. Do the bug-eyed stuff with the weird hair and the weird Jerry curl mullet, and do all that stuff, because that's honestly what brings the whole package together.
Yeah. It is a really good match, but of course, Juice doesn't get the dub on this one. Ciampa hits a low drop kick on his knee, and then they exchange
rough
chops
times
and blows.
for the Bang Bang Gang, man.
Yeah, but Ciampa had to hit him with 2 running knees to get the victory. Which I mean, they're setting Juice up to be. I mean, he's a little bit resilient, at least. But we got to see where this is going to go. I need to see more Juice, but I'd like to get him, a solid program going. If it has to be with Ciampa, that'd be cool. I mean, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. I would. I'm wondering if maybe they're putting these guys on a losing streak to set up Jay White coming back and reading them the riot act for losing their way without him, and then coming back with renewed focus or whatever. I could see a heel turn happening if that's the case. First thing I would probably have him do is kick out Ace Austin to get heel heat more than anything and to get some sympathy on Ace. But that's just speculation.
Yeah.
Next was Isaiah Cassidy cutting a promo backstage. I didn't know until this moment that Mark Quinn was injured.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Somehow that news hadn't gotten to me by the time I watched this promo. Oh, that sucks. Mark Quinn is injured again. Like, that dude, man, I feel so bad for him because he keeps on getting injured and having to they just came back too. They just came back, and it's just so it's disheartening. Really, it's I feel so bad for Quinn, but I think now it's you just pull the trigger on Cassidy, let him fly solo, see what he can do.
Yeah,
see what he can do.
Yeah.
You know what I would do? I would put him in an extended program with Dante Martin. Just have him be who's really, because there are so many similarities between Top Flight and Private Party, and those two are the analogs to one another as the guys who do most of the high flying for their teams. You could I make a whole story out of like who is the highest flyer,
Yeah.
under 30 years old or whatever in this company. Who's the high flyer with the most potential or whatever, and just have those two just go on a run of matches for like 2 months, 3 months, something like that.
Lots of TV time.
Lots of TV time. Yeah, I mean, God knows, like Skyflight needs something to do too. Like they put them together. They put them in this great presentation. I love like the fight, the fight team aspect of it. The music is fantastic, very rocky. But then all they do is lose. They're in no better a position they were than before they were put together with Scorpio Sky. Like they're just honestly the only one who's looking like they're gonna benefit from it is Zeta Steel.
Yeah, and
which is great for her. I don't want to take that away from her at all.
No,
but like there are 3 other people in that stable who wrestle, and like none of them are benefiting either.
Right?
You would hope that you could get everybody to benefit from it in some fashion, if possible.
Yeah, that's ideal. Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, we've got that kind of odd Darby Allin and Brody King and Jack Perry backstage, where Jack Perry keeps saying, "You set me on fire."
Yeah. Like I guess they do say, looking at the notes now, like I guess they do say that they hate the Don Callis family. Darby is the one who says it. You kind of have to take him on his word for it because, like, the other two haven't really had much, they haven't really had much interaction with the Don Callis family. Like, Andrade had like a little thing with, a little kind of tiff with Brody, I guess. It wasn't even an actual match. It was, they were just both challengers for the world title, and they were both in the chase. That was kind of it. Jack Perry, when has he faced the Don Callis family? Ever? Like, the closest you got was in the Continental Classic when he bit Okada's dick. So,
yeah, he did do that, didn't he?
He did do that. Like that's about as close as you get, though. Like, I guess no, that's not entirely true because he teamed with the Bucks against them a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But like even then, it was not a long extended, history of animosity with them, just like incidental, mostly related to the Bucks.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. It seemed kind of like thin reasoning to me to put these 3 together.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have a match, trios match, on Dynamite against the Don Callis family. I honestly don't remember which combination. I'd have to look it up. There are too many of them. There's just too many of them.
But yeah, but Darby set Perry on fire. So
yeah, that's a big takeaway from that.
You did.
It's a reminder.
Yeah,
you set me on fire. He even at the end of this, when the other 2 walk off, he even, jims the camera and says, "He set me on fire."
Set me on fire. Yeah. After that, we've got Andrade and Mark Davis against Desmond Xavier and Zachary Wentz of the Rascals.
Man, the Rascals, ever since losing in the title match they had against FTR, cannot get a win to save their lives.
I swear, like only in singles, like the tag team's just not getting it done.
Yeah,
and these guys are like you could say that like these 2 guys in the tag team told the guy who's getting dubs as a singles guy that like he was the new guy and that's why he wasn't in the tag team, and he's the only one getting
tag team
dubs.
Can't get the win. And they're the established tag team who can't get a win over a makeshift tag team that's never teamed against each other, teamed with each other before.
Yeah, exactly.
Andrade and Mark Davis have never been a 2-person tandem ever before
Not
this
ever.
match,
No.
and yet they pick up the win.
Yeah. Got
Yeah,
me on
it's
that
just
one.
you're never gonna see me. You're not generally gonna see me anyway. Complain about Andrade at this point in his career getting dubs, but like what are you doing with the Rascals? You built them up, and now you're knocking them back down.
Yeah. That's what I was like. I was like, what is going on? Why are the Rascals like
They went like 3-0, and now they're probably 3-3, 3-4, something like that.
like it's weird that this is what's happening. And especially when they kind of they vibe with the crowd. The crowd seems to like them pretty well, So I don't know. And it's weird that they do this, and then they have them beat up. Like after they take the L, they get beat up by the Don Callis family. Which is
yeah,
which I like. Cool that maybe that's more people get like the Rascals and Darby and Jack Perry and Brody and Kenny all against the Don Cal. Okay, that's some numbers. That's like 7 guys. That's still like 15 guys short, but it's like 7 guys.
Yeah,
I mean, like we're gonna have to get that group right there plus the conglomeration, and then that might equal the Don Callis family.
yeah.
Like
speaking of the conglomeration, though.
Speaking of the conglomeration, but they still got their thing going with the Death Riders. And this 8-man tag match where we've got Mystico and Kevin Knight and Roderick Strong and Orange Cassidy against Claudio Wheeler and the Dogs minus Cutface.
He was over in New Japan wearing an AEW shirt, stirring the pot.
Yeah, apparently. Already getting ready for Forbidden Door, are we? Okay.
You know what? I will say this. I kind of like the idea of Forbidden Door possibly opening up to a more over and all-encompassing narrative. That this is not just friendly competition. This is a competition that has some animosity behind it now. And I hate Gabe Kidd, but he is the perfect person to stir the pot.
I mean,
because of the character that he is.
Yeah.
Like, I would, I could see this would be a really good way for the Dogs to really get up there in the card. Because they could be the ones stirring the pot between all 3 of these promotions. Like they're the ones who are the masterminds behind it because they just love chaos. And that's not out of character either. They're very much chaos coded.
Yeah.
So, just to see everybody destroy themselves and for them to pick the bones, basically throw all 3 of these promotions at each other. And see which opportunities present themselves for gold in the wake of it. Who got so beat up by this? Which titles can we go after? Because, these battles that we helped orchestrate set the table for us to have easy pickings. I could see that being entertaining.
Yeah.
I don't like Gabe Kidd. But he is the perfect person to do this.
He is, because he's completely antithetical to like a typical Japanese person. Like he's loud and brash and impolite and like a complete like he's a complete fucking twat. So like
he absolutely is.
Yeah, and so like any respectful Japanese competitor is gonna be like, this guy is a fucking dickhead. Like and they're not gonna say it like that, but that's exactly what they're gonna be thinking and the way they're gonna operate. And so like let's bring a spirit of competition to this. Like I would really enjoy that. I think I think it would make me feel like there's more of a point to this whole Forbidden Door thing than just bringing a
there used to be a point when it was a novel concept for all these different notable promotions to be working with each other. It was a novel idea. It was cool. Now there's crossover all the time. So if you're going to continue to do Forbidden Door, you have to do different things. Open the door to more promotions for representation, or put some actual story behind this stuff and have it be really about, and I can't believe that I'm saying it this way, forgive me, but about like brand supremacy.
I'm actually okay with it because that could be like he could actually, dude. Tony Khan could turn Forbidden Door into a World Cup of Wrestling and really
Yeah.
do a brand supremacy thing and show WWE what brand supremacy is
And
supposed to be like.
the
Like,
thing is that he has such great respect for and such great working relationships with New Japan and CMLL in particular.
mm-hmm.
I don't think he'd have any ego about letting one of those other two companies get the kind of the big win in the end.
Yeah.
I really don't think he doesn't have the Vince McMahon ego where WWE always has to come out on top and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to bury WCW from the moment that it ended in 2001 straight through freaking Sting at WrestleMania 31.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think Tony Khan has that kind of ego. I think that he loves his position as like the you know, the great bridge between all these great wrestling promotions.
Yeah.
I think he'd be elated to, you know, if there was some big battle royal or tournament or whatever, you know, the Forbidden Door champion, whatever you want to call it. I guarantee you that he'd be more than willing to put that title or whatever on Mascara Dorada or Yoji Suda, Yota Tsuji or whoever.
Yeah, I could see him doing that for sure, and that would make it interesting. Like, because we know, like, you go in knowing like AEW might not win, you know. Whereas if this happened like with WWE, you're like, oh yeah, WWE. Like when WWE would, like, anytime WWE did a crossover, where they like with WCW, they WWE guys clean house and it's terrible. And so yeah, I mean, this being different would be perfect. That said, this match was pretty fucking awesome. A lot of fun stuff in this match.
I love that, like, all of the tag team offense that Roddy and Orange come up with is just different ways of Roddy using Orange as a weapon.
Right? Like, I'm gonna beat your ass, Charles. I'm gonna beat your ass with Charles.
Like, usually you kind of see that with like big guy, little guy, but Roddy is just a beast.
Yeah, he's just really strong.
And it's in his name.
Yeah, it's in the name, man.
But like, and you know, Orange is the perfect person to do that with because he's not a big guy, and he's, you know, just his character lends itself to be thrown around.
Yeah,
because he doesn't want to do the work himself. Like,
right.
It's kind of perfect, really.
Yeah. Mystico taking a lot of offense on this one, but also giving a lot. The end was crazy to me though, because like Mystico locks
the length of that UFO splash was like 3/4 of the way across the ring and over Mystico while he had, I think it was Claudio in La
Mystica. Yeah. He snatches Claudio up in La Mystica, and then the Jet hops up at the top rope and leaps over them to the other side of the ring to hit Yuta with the UFO. And I was like, fuck it. Oh my God.
What an incredible visual.
I looked away for a second and I heard he's like, he's got La Mystica, and I was like, that's the end. And I was like, my referee brain kicked in. I was like, no, that's not the end. Claudio's not the legal man. It's Yuta. And then I heard Excalibur go, Jet's going up to the top, and I look up right as he left off, and he turns, and I was just like, oh my God, it's so fucking far.
It's so far. I don't know how he gets the length on these leaps that it's inhuman.
It is inhuman.
Absolutely inhuman.
Like, he is incredible. Truly the man that gravity forgot. Like, I feel like he has earned that moniker at this point. Like, because this is crazy, the shit he does. Like, I mean,
absolutely.
Like
this was.
Yeah, nuts. He has such height on it too. I was like, oh my God, he's so high in the air right now. Like, I would be like, if I was capable of getting that high off the top rope, I think it might actually physically terrify me to be that high above the ring. Like, because I've gone off the top rope. I mean, like, come on, like, even as a referee, guys, when they pull the pad out, we're doing top rope work. You're like, fuck yeah, I'm doing it too. because I fucking sure as fuck am. And even
Well, as
the
long as
height,
there's the mat there, who cares?
like even the height that I can get myself up is pretty scary when you're coming down. I cannot imagine 4 or 5 feet higher than that,
yeah,
because that he literally has like a fucking 3.5, 4 foot vertical leap, and then he does 20 feet out too, which is
yeah,
fucking insanity.
insane. It's absolute madness.
It's pure insanity. It's pure insanity. And it's crazy that
I
like
think it's more evidence to my hypothesis that Bailey and Knight are having like a real life who can top this competition with each other
like
just to get just to pop the boys.
okay, so I'm just gonna say this, man. The last time I saw two people in an organization have a we gotta one up each other constantly competition, that was on Lamb of God's second record, and the guitar players did that shit, and it was one of the greatest metal albums of all time. These two guys are on their way to like, I don't know how they're going to top themselves already, and I know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I know it's going to happen. They're just, it's crazy that these guys are going to tag team together, and like, it feels like Tony Khan is sitting with the crowd mood that we don't really want them feuding. We don't want them to break up
No.
maliciously and feud.
No. Like
So
I don't want that would break my heart.
yeah. So we're just getting this wild ass friendly competition, as it were, and it just keeps getting crazier. It's like Knoxville and fucking Steve-O trying to one up each other on pranks. Like it's just the best shit. Like it's the best shit. Like the best parts of your show for like the last 2 months have been these two guys. And it
Yeah.
doesn't matter who they're working with, and they've worked with everyone. Like we've had
Yeah.
matches with pretty much all the main guys. Like we get Fletcher's and MJF and like everybody. Like we've had these like, and it just keeps getting better. Like you're if this keeps happening, they're going to have a really hard time justifying to me that these guys shouldn't be tag team champions and or individual champions on their own,
That's what I'm
like the
saying. Like
international and the TNT or the world title. Because if they
yeah.
would imagine if they win the international title or the TNT title, and then they just keep doing this,
Yeah, right.
what then? Like, what literally what then? Because I mean, we know how Tony is. Like, we're either gonna have to belt him up with the world title or create a whole new title for these guys that is
No,
going to be immediately elevated.
you know what you do. Depending on whether Fletcher can get back, you make Speedball your next TBS champion. Whether it's whether Fletcher can do the job or himself, or whether they have to vacate it, he's your next champion. Wrap up the stuff with Takeshita and Okada, and as soon as Takeshita wins the belt, have him flash lose it to Kevin Knight.
Mm.
Like that would, like it would be earned from Kevin, and it would, and it would be shocking, because it would be like his first defense, like a few days afterwards. Takeshi's already won the international title. He doesn't need, the important thing isn't that he hold on to it, is that he takes it off Okada.
Yeah.
That's the important part of that. It's the Okada part. It's not the international title part. The international title needs to come off Okada because he's doing nothing with it, and it's just log jamming things. So you just do this. You have Takeshi get the big win, have him move it to Kevin Knight, have them both have a friendly rivalry with their belts and who can make which one mean the most, and have them both drop it at the same time. And then they both enter the Continental Classic, and you have them face each other in the finals.
That would be, I would like that. Yeah.
I think the way that their trajectory is going, I think having them be in the finals of the C2 would be electric.
Yeah.
And I don't even care who wins. Smart money would probably be on Knight, but I don't think anybody cares who wins.
No, no, it's just getting there. It's the getting there. It's
Yeah,
gonna be great, and the being there. Afterwards,
yeah.
we won't give a shit, you know. But like, it's just getting to that point. Like, because yeah, they're gonna eventually have to face each other,
Oh, they've
especially
got
if
to.
they, yeah,
I
especially if
just
they
don't
keep
want them to
outshining
be.
everyone. You know,
Yeah, I want it to be. These two guys are the future of this company, and they're neck and neck, but they love each other.
yeah,
They're boys. They're best friends or whatever, and they just happen to be in the position where there's only the one spot for one of them.
yeah.
Uh, I don't think you need either one of them to turn heel.
Mm.
I don't think the crowd would want that. Honestly, I don't think the fans would want that. They
That would be
love
poorly
Speedball. They
received at the
love
very least. Yeah,
they love Speedball. I mean, if you had to turn one of them, I would say there's bigger upside turning Knight than there is Speedball. I really, as popular as Kevin Knight is becoming, there were those signs that he was showing earlier this year of getting a little cocky and showing a little bit more heelish attitude. I don't know if that was something that was going to lead to a heel turn that they then stopped, or whether it was just I don't know.
I think it was probably
But
poorly received, and so they just stopped.
I don't know. What I do know is that Speedball is absolutely beloved, and I don't think it would be smart to turn him.
No, I don't
I
think
think
it would
he
work.
could handle
He's
it.
too nice.
I think he could handle it, but I don't think anybody wants it.
He'd have to do something incredibly heinous, and
Yeah,
I don't think it would work because he's
like
too beloved.
he strikes me as the mischievous type that could do some heelish stuff. I just don't think anybody wants to see him do it.
Yeah.
At least from a heel perspective. If he did it as like a needling baby face towards an annoying heel, I think they'd love to see that. But a full-on heel turn from him, I don't think anybody wants to see that.
No,
I don't.
No.
But yeah, getting them both. I think that's the goal: is getting them both to the C2 finals.
Yeah, that would be a great goal. I mean, that would be perfect. Actually, I think everybody would get a lot of what they want out of it.
Yep. But that's neither here nor there, because that is the end of Collision. Which means there's only one thing left to do. And what's that?
Let's do like the pros do and call it in the ring.
Ding, ding, ding. All right. So in celebration, I guess, of the return of Chris Jericho, I thought it might be funny to have kind of a little bit of a career retrospective in a tiny way. But more importantly than that, as a master of reinvention, Chris Jericho has had a lot of different aspects to his character. He's always been a version of Chris Jericho, but what it means to be Chris Jericho has meant different things on many different occasions. Lots of different iterations of Chris Jericho. So I compiled the 10 kind of major categories, I guess you could call it, that I could discern from his career, and I'm going to ask Aaron to rank the versions of Chris Jericho from worst to best.
Oh boy!
So I'll just list them out here chronologically, and then we'll go from there. So the categories of Jericho are Corazon de Leon, or Lionheart gimmick, which is probably what he had basically from the beginning of his career straight through like 1996 or so in WCW, followed by the crazy conspiracy theorist / the man of 1,004 holds, who terrorized the cruiserweight division of WCW for 2 years. Then there's Y2J, babyface who entered WWF at the time. he was 1999. That's right up until 2001. He turns heel in the midst of the Invasion storyline, and turns into his like undisputed champion version of himself. That's number 4, where he's just constantly bragging about how he beat Stone Cold and The Rock in the same night. That lasts a few years. He goes on hiatus. He comes back. Eventually, he morphs into the suit and tie, best in the world at what I do version. You know, he wins the world title a couple of times during that run. He teams with the Big Show for a while during that run. He takes another hiatus. He comes back, does kind of middling stuff, but then eventually morphs into the guy with the list of Jericho. I think that's a lot of people's, favorite or like second favorite version. We'll see where he stands with Aaron, but the list got very, very over, and that would take him to the end of his WWE career. He goes to New Japan and becomes the Painmaker. After that, AEW is formed. He's the first really big signing. He wins the belt and becomes the champion, is the leader of the Inner Circle. We can add the Demo God stuff into there as well. That's pretty much all in that same general time frame. The Inner Circle falls apart and is replaced with the Jericho Appreciation Society, / the Ocho when he wins the Ring of Honor World title for the first time. This is all in that same kind of time frame, where Jericho Appreciation Society is more sports entertainment over professional wrestling, that whole thing. And then we end with the Learning Tree version of Chris Jericho, or TV Time, or the Nueve, or whatever you want to call it. The most recent version of Jericho before his almost year-long hiatus from AEW. So those are the 10 categories. So we're going to go, what do you think, Aaron? What do you think is number 10? What do you think is the worst of these?
Man, I'll just say it because it might be a hot take. It might be a hot take, and I don't care. But Painmaker is absolutely the worst version of Jericho. Period. Like it is like, even I despise the Painmaker so much. It's absolutely going at number 10.
I mean, you'd be hard pressed to hear me disagree. The thing about it is, like, the idea of it is clever because it's clearly a riff on the Rainmaker, Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, you're obviously like doing this to try and set yourself up against Okada, who's the big guy in New Japan at the time. But he paints himself up, and he tries to pass himself off as a deathmatch guy, and it's just no. It doesn't really work.
Yeah,
doesn't really work. Yeah, no. I'm with you. I don't particularly care for this version of Chris Jericho either.
No, I hate
it. It would be my number 10 as well. If
mm-hmm.
So what's above that? What's number 9 for you?
Number 9 is probably best in the world at what I do.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I would have that way high up on my list. I love Suit and Tie Jericho.
Yeah, I
thought some of his best work came from that era.
I mean, I thought the work was good, but
he punched Shawn Michaels' wife in the face.
The derivative CM Punk shit. I can't be the best in the world, so I'll be the best in the world at what I do. I don't know. That grated on me the whole time. Just that part, like, if he came up with any other catchphrase and did that amount of and did that work, I'd be like, okay, that's great. But I was like, why you gotta do this, Chris Jericho? Like it's almost in that same vein as Painmaker. Like you literally set yourself up to take on this particular person.
Well, yeah, and it worked because you got a WrestleMania. I wouldn't say main event because WWE going to WWE, but like he got that WrestleMania title program with him out of it. Like, the street fight at the next month's pay-per-view was better though.
Yeah.
It was. And they dressed for a street fight. Like, it was the one-time suit and tie Jericho dressed for a street fight. But no, I was like, you and I are in very different worlds here. Like, this would be much, much higher on my list.
Yeah.
I thought the work he did with Shawn during this period, especially, was just pièce de résistance.
Number 8 is where I'm going to put the learning tree.
Okay, yeah.
Because, I mean, this is really like the height of the Jericho vortex. We're all sick of him. I don't, other than Big Bill, I don't really, like, I mean, even, like, it seems like Brian Keith has disappeared a little bit.
I mean, both of them kind of have. Really.
Yeah, I mean, Big Bill.
They've got a new name. They finally have a name, and now they're not on TV.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. It's still kind of following that formula where people suffer because of him. Slightly better, but right above that is going to be the Jericho Appreciation Society. Because I kind of enjoyed the Ocho character, but I also, I mean, the Jericho Appreciation Society, like Danny Garcia, who else is still around regularly?
Yeah, like not even Daddy Magic is around anymore.
Yeah.
And Jay and Ty, Ty J is, where did they go? They lost in the tourney and then they're gone.
Yeah, they're the original tag team, and we haven't seen them in however long,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'll put that one.
Yeah, I mean, there were, I will say this, like, there was, it's not my favorite version of Jericho either, but the idea of sports entertainment versus professional wrestling in AEW, I felt like that definitely was a worthy kind of conversation to have.
Oh yeah, I thought so too.
And you know me, I love me some Danny Garcia. So
yeah, but the result of it, I mean, Danny being the only one really around, is like, what good did all that do any of them?
Yeah.
Above that, at number 6, we're gonna go with the undisputed heel champ, Jericho. Because we're already at 6, getting into versions of Jericho that I like. And am a fan of. I really liked him becoming the undisputed champion in WWE.
Yeah.
I thought that was the right call. I thought it was a good move.
It was definitely the unexpected call.
Yeah.
If betting were allowed back then, he definitely would have been the underdog on that. Even Angle would have had a better chance than Jericho in that little tiny tourney.
And I thought it was the right call, but also I thought immediately turning him heel after the really great crowd reception that they got was kind of a bad move. But I didn't dislike him. I mean, it was very Lionheart has a championship and caught a bit of an ego, and it was still funny and, irreverent and everything Chris Jericho still was back at that time.
He was, and towards the end of this particular iteration too, he had looking back now, it's kind of problematic, but in the moment when we were, in our late teens, early 20s, when it was happening, he had that great run with Christian heading into WrestleMania over the bet.
Oh yeah, the bet.
Which obviously is very, very problematic, but created a really, really great moment when Trish turns on Jericho at WrestleMania and starts making out with Christian on the stage.
Yeah,
like it helped her reach a new level.
Yeah,
more than anything. So, yeah, like, I mean, there was. It was. I would place this one probably a little lower on my list, but it did have its moments for sure.
Uh, at number 5 is where I'm going to put Le Champion. I really thought it was good work. It was really good for what AEW needed at the beginning. However, I watched a lot of it after the fact, and honestly, I actually watched a lot of the Le Champion era while I was sick of the Jericho Appreciation era. Because I was like concurrently catching up with things, and but I got him at number 5 because he was what AEW needed at the time, and
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
definitely
he was a
fulfilled the role.
meme machine at the beginning.
Yeah,
Like
he
it seemed
was.
like everything that he said and did caught on, and like it was honest. And too, there was the novelty of it. Where this was the first time in his entire career that he was part of a stable, let alone leading one.
Right.
Like he'd been part of tag teams before, but never like a full blown stable or faction.
Yeah.
Like, and here he was leading one, and that was novel for him. We'd never seen that before.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Also kind of introduced us to a lot of good, I mean, the inner circle was a faction of pretty good people. At number 4, I've got Y2J.
It's classic.
This is, I mean, Y2J. I mean, this is his entrance into the WWE, WWF. But like, I mean, I thought the way they did it was cool, with like the code and everything, and then people kind of figuring it out beforehand because they did actually leave clues.
Yeah.
I was excited to see him. I mean, I think everybody was excited to see him. And I thought that the work he did, in relation to Y2J Chris Jericho was fucking off the charts.
This is also the iteration where we found out he had ludicrous chemistry with Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Like the stuff he said to her is not repeatable in today's environment, and shouldn't be. And it shouldn't be like celebrated on its face. For the time period, though, it was like nobody ever said that kind of stuff to Stephanie.
Mm-mm.
Ever. Nobody got away with it.
You didn't talk to your boss's daughter like that.
Nobody ever got away with that stuff ever again. Either.
No.
Triple H got involved, and he's like, "No, nobody's gonna make fun of my wife. She's gonna mask it to everybody. It's gonna be great."
Number 3 is the Man of 1,004 Holes. I put this at number 3 because while it's not my favorite thing, it did give me Chris Jericho versus Dean Malenko, which I was a huge fucking fan of.
Malenko.
I loved Dean Malenko versus Chris Jericho. I wanted to see nothing more than Dean Malenko beat the living shit out of Chris Jericho in like a way that I knew that Dean Malenko was probably extremely capable of doing.
Oh yeah.
Like in real life. Like I was like, this guy, like Dean Malenko just looks like the type of guy who like will absolutely leave you alone if you just leave him alone. But if you provoke him, he is going to stomp a mud hole in your ass and then walk that shit dry. And
he'll stretch you until you cry.
Stretch you good. And like when Jericho was like, "Well, I'm the man of 1,004 holes," I was like, "Oh, you are directly challenging like the man, the guy who knows like this guy like literally like even with Benoit in the fucking company, I'm like, Dean Malenko is the wrestler here. Dean Malenko is the real deal, fucking no bullshit, no frills, fucking wrestler.
Yep. Arguably the greatest scientific wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
Arguably. You can make a case for it.
Yeah, you probably could easily make a case for that. I don't think it would be too, I mean, people might not disagree with you just out of respect. Like, like, Malenko, like.
Yeah. I mean,
because they're afraid
he's an elite. He's an elite company with like Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
Like like it's very close. He's top 5 with a bullet
Oh, for sure, for sure.
in terms of scientific technical wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Now, my number 2, and if you are keeping track and know what the 2 that I have left are, my number 2 is actually the List of Jericho. And because I mean there's one I like better, but the list they had so many like hilarious interactions and setups with the list. It was just like the
Yeah.
perfect thing. And Chris Jericho has the perfect like Karen face to
Yeah.
pull off like I'm adding you to this list and make it
Yeah.
hilarious. And every time, like I mean, he didn't just say anything; he just pull the list up.
Yep.
And that was enough, like, cause you knew where it was going after that, but it was funny
Yeah, he
every
had the
fucking
scarf.
time.
He had the Bon Jovi haircut.
Yeah, the
You know,
Bon Jovi haircut. Oh,
like he was paired with Kevin Owens,
yeah.
and the chemistry that those two had was just
Kevin Owens is
insane.
fucking hilarious.
Yes, he is. He's absolutely hilarious. And the best thing about Kevin Owens, and something that aids to make him as funny as he is that he's determined to make his character be defined by the fact that he's the only one in WWE that watches the show. Like,
yeah.
It's like he's the only one who's like who's like meta aware.
Yeah.
He's aware of the tropes. He's like, you think you had a camera in your face. You didn't think we all didn't just see that? Like,
right?
The stuff with Elias, that was perfect too. Like, whereas like, no, you just shaved your beard. You're Elias. You're not his brother. Like,
Yeah.
no, this is why can't anybody see it? I'll see this. Like the only sane man, because he sees through the kayfabe artifice of things, and that's the true character of Kevin Owens, is the man who sees the truth. And because of that, he sees the absurdity of things. He calls it out, and that's where most of his humor comes from, is pointing out the absurdities of wrestling around him.
Yeah.
And him with Jericho was just like, they just played off each other so well.
It's because Jericho is absurd, and Kevin Steen's whole thing is pointing out the absurdity, and here we are.
Yeah.
But yeah, that leaves us with one and one only. And I don't think this is a hot take at all. My number 1 is Lionheart Chris Jericho. And I say that because I mean this was for a lot of us, this was our very first iteration of Chris Jericho. This is what made this guy. He wouldn't have a 40+ year career at this point without Lionheart, because he came onto TV and he was a luchador who wasn't a luchador. He was one of us. He liked metal music and being a sarcastic asshole. And, but he was also wrestling and going toe to toe with all of our favorite luchadors and all of our favorite wrestlers. And like, you look back in his history, and you see that he's got, time in ring with all of our favorite other guys from that era when they're in Japan together and stuff like that. Yeah. But then you see him like, I mean, this was the Jericho that everybody loved, man. The long blonde hair, the good physique, the really great wrestling, the high flying, the doing stuff that at that point we had never really seen before. I mean, like the lion salt, that middle rope running moonsault, like,
yeah,
we had seen stuff similar to that, but that was like, whoa, man, that's cool.
Yeah, American audiences, that kind of wrestling was obviously commonplace in Japan and especially Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like American wrestling was slow to be influenced by international styles like that. It kind of always has been, until basically the internet took over, and instead of trading tapes to find this stuff, it was just a couple of clicks away.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see anything, any kind of style from anywhere around the world that you could imagine. And, that's really accelerated to a degree, the homogenization of like the indie style, but also it's also hastened creativity because you see things and then you're inspired to do things just a little bit differently. Or how can I improve on this? How can I do something that I haven't seen anybody do before? That kind of thing. You look at a wrestler like Lee Moriarty, who is also in that conversation.
Yeah.
That technical scientific wrestling conversation. And the stuff that he comes up with, like it's truly inspired. And I think that he would have been a guy like him would have been successful in any era, really. But I think he's thriving now because of the plethora, the wealth of material to research that's out there, not only from different locations around the world, but also different time periods that have been recorded. He's building a foundation of technical knowledge based on decades and decades of international, work that's been put in by guys that we've never even heard of.
Yeah.
So,
he definitely has tape. He probably has matches with people that I've never heard of either guy. And it's probably some of the craziest shit. And I'm just not that deep in it. But those guys, like people like him and Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. definitely got a tape library. Like they definitely got one,
like a physical tape library.
Yeah, probably. And if he said, "Don't you dare fast forward or rewind that shit," like he probably.
But I mean, I bring it up just to go back to your point of it was you had the start of the luchador style trickling in through its exposure in ECW and in the cruiserweight division of WCW once Nitro got on the air.
Yeah.
But it was really, Jericho was like one of the first guys, and I hate to say it this way, but it does actually matter for that audience. He was a white guy doing this kind of stuff. To the audience that was being presented this was revolutionary, and it was like, oh, I can do that too. About representation.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's problematic. I get it. I'm not saying that it's not, but I'm not saying that it wasn't a factor either.
Yeah.
I'm just calling it like I see it.
There were plenty of us in the WCW fandom in the South, and this is why. It's because we're in the South. There were plenty of us in the WCW fandom that really loved the luchadors too, and it wasn't no problem. And we were like, "Oh, this is cool, new stuff," But we were in the South in the fucking '90s, in the late '90s, and for a certain section of the fan base of a company like WCW that was like the Dixieland wrestling company.
Yeah.
That did matter. And they were like, once a white guy started doing it, then it became acceptable to some of them. Yes. You can find plenty of instances in the old footage of boos, for luchadors just because they're luchadors.
Yeah.
So yes, it was problematic. It's now problematic. But back then not me and not a bunch of other people I knew, but yeah, there were definitely a subsection of the WCW watching population who were not fans of anyone from any foreign land.
Yeah.
And of course, these are the same guys that would, chant USA at a match between a guy from Michigan and a guy from Indiana, just because the guy from Michigan was a little brown. So, what can you say? Back then, it's, it was real to them, damn it. But yeah, but still, Jericho, undeniable, just especially in the comedy wrestling aspect, he really was able to make people take comedy wrestling seriously as a serious form of wrestling. Because look at him, he could be really funny and then do really athletic wrestling shit and do really good wrestling. But he can make the most ridiculous shit funny. Do you remember Rufus?
Ralphus.
Ralphus. Oh, sorry, Ralphus. Yeah, Ralphus, the two-toothed, half-shirt wearing fat old guy that was his bodyguard, quote unquote. Yep. Yeah, dude. He made Ralphus a fucking thing, dude. It was a thing. If you watched
It was a
WCW in the
thing,
late
too.
'90s, Ralphus was a thing. Yeah, like
The-
there was so many people showed
There were
up to
signs for
WCW.
Ralphus.
There were
Yeah.
signs. There were people that showed up in half shirts that were like badly written on. Like Ralphus. Like just it. I saw way more people in like the half shirt and sweatpants combo at WCW events in Amarillo in the late '90s than I definitely should have. Okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of them probably just stuck with that look over the last 30 or so years. But, but man, like Ralphus was a thing, man. Ralphus got his own pop. Like
I loved
was
Ralphus.
And if
as
you
a teenager, I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. And if you can make that, I mean, come on. Like, this is the type of shit that Lionheart Chris Jericho did every week.
Yep. Well, then, to recap the list, at number 10, you've got the Painmaker.
Yes.
At number 9, the best in the world at what I do, Suit and Tie Jericho. Number 8, the Learning Tree / the Nueve. Number 7, Jericho Appreciation Society / the Ocho.
Yeah.
6, Undisputed Champion Era.
Mm-hmm.
For number 5, Le Champion / the Inner Circle / the Demo God. Number 4, Y2J. Number 3, Conspiracy Theorist / Man of 1,004 Holds. Number 2, The List of Jericho. And number 1, the original incarnation, Corazon de León / Lionheart Chris Jericho.
Yep. That is my list. And feel free to disagree with me on Blue Sky. Be like, at Aaron Smark .bluesky.social, that asshole said that the Learning Tree sucks. That's not what I said. He's just number 8. Go back.
You know what we just did? You know what you just did, Aaron?
Huh.
You just made a list.
I did make a list, and I'm sure that my list has put me on other people's list for its apparent wrongness, and I am prepared to deal with that apparent wrongness. Please come give me your also wrong opinion, and we will just be wrong together. You can hit us up on.
Yeah, this one I really want to see people weigh in on. I really want to see this.
Give me your top 10 Jericho incarnations, so that we can argue about them. I will gladly do that with you. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the week.
Yeah, that's our show for this week. Next week will be pay-per-view week. Dynasty is next. It is the 12th. It is next Sunday.
Yep.
So, is it 12th or 13th?
Yeah, it's the 12th, I believe. 12th. Yes.
It is next Sunday. So it'll be watch along time as usual per our Sunday. We always record on Sundays. So if there's a pay-per-view there, we're going to do it because why wouldn't we? Why would we record? Why would we record about Dynamite and Collision during a pay-per-view we could be watching?
Yeah. I would rather be watching the pay-per-view.
Sense.
We would both.
I would much rather be watching the pay-per-view.
Yeah. We decided at the very beginning that we both want to watch the pay-per-views instead of have to be recording. So we just decided to do both since they fall on the same day. And you'll notice if they have the pay-per-view on Saturday, we don't do watch along. We just talk about the pay-per-view. So yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing next week. Next week is our Dynasty watch along, and we get to see, I guess, some closure to some of this. But I don't know. The card still feels kind of light. I think there were like 4 or 5 matches.
It's funny because like the card seems stacked, but it only is like halfway.
Put together.
Like
I feel like we're gonna like Dynamite and Collision this week are gonna feature the booking of like 15 more matches if we have to go by
knowing Tony,
because it'll be like 6 more matches or 7 more matches for the main card, and then 4 more for the pre-show. So I mean I bet maybe 10 more matches get booked for this or thrown together or something. But I mean, we got a week to do it, so we'll see how that goes. Because I mean the card, like I said, like you said, the card is stacked, but it's like
only halfway done.
Yeah. There's not enough matches because this is not how AEW does.
You've got Kenny Omega and MJF. You've got Cope and Christian versus FTR.
Yep.
You've got John Moxley versus Will Ospreay. Darby Allin versus Andrade. And I think there's one more. Tekla
Tekla
versus
and
Jamie Hayter.
Yeah.
I think that's all I can think of right now.
Yeah, but that's only 5. Yeah, so there's we're missing 10 matches or something.
I imagine Willow will have an open challenge for the TBS title. I imagine Trio's title will be put up on the line randomly against Don Callis family members, most likely.
Probably.
I imagine probably the Dogs versus Roddy and Orange again.
Maybe.
In some kind of stip.
Maybe
the Divine Dominion defend, but
they'll defend against somebody, I bet, but I don't know who. So I guess
Jack Perry will probably defend against Ricochet.
Probably. That's been going on forever. So I will see. It's only 5 matches so far, so we'll see how many more we get. But I expect 9 or 10. So have fun, guys. But that being said, that was the wrestling for the week. That was our show for the week. We will see you next week with our watch along. Thank you to Team Disaster Plan and Prognostic Pedals and Weirwood for sponsoring us. Thanks Weirwood for our background music. Thanks Garrett Deming for our title theme and ending theme. And thank all of you for listening. And remember, it's a scary world out there, so keep your head on a swivel. And we love you. Buckeyes.